service to be completed at a rate of no less than 6 hours per week, zero tolerance for 90 days, a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, and follow any recommendations, to be drug screened as needed. Her next report date would be next Wednesday, August 2nd, in person between the hours of 1 p.m. and 6 p.m.
All right, so Ms. McInville, two questions. Number one, do you admit to the violations?
I didn't leave the jurisdiction, and I did complete the substance abuse evaluation.
All right.
It was emailed to Ms. Ellis.
Okay, so let's just take those one by one then. So the first allegation was that you got behind on your fines and fees and didn't use community service work to get caught up. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you said that you're saying that you did complete your substance abuse evaluation. Did you do so by May 12th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the answer is that very technically, because this was as of the date this was filed, which was back on May 23rd. So you were in violation, but you're saying you brought that back into compliance since then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the last one, because we pulled one off before we even got here today because you got that one into compliance, which is that you're saying you did not leave the jurisdiction of the court?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, and then the recommendation, is the recommendation acceptable to you?
I don't have a job right now, sir, so I can't pay anything.
Well, anytime you can't pay anything, you can always either work it off with community service work, or if you're unable to work at all, as far as the supervision fees, you can ask for those to be waived. We can cross that bridge just to get to it.
Okay.
So knowing that option is on the table for you, is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'm going to remove Director Matthews number 4 from my consideration. I'm going to make the decision off of 1 and 3, as those are both admissions, and I'm going to follow the recommendation of the state. So, all right, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you, actually I'm just going to have a seat right there at the table. In just a minute, I'm going to have you sign your order. The bailiffs will give you a copy before you leave. And then that's it for now. Okay, grab a seat at the table.
Okay. What's your first name again?
All right, I'm pulling up.
Is that the one?
Yes, we were advised that it was on the calendar. That's a recent plea that you took at the solicitor's
Oh, that's the
office.
one where the girl was doing 95 or
Yes.
98 or something?
98 and 55, I believe.
98. I'll get with her in a second.
Well, I just appreciate you being in the show. All right, that's Ms. McIntyre. Which brings me to Mr. Penn. Mr. Penn, if you'll come on up to the podium.
You're tall.
It's for tall folks like you, Mr. Penn, and short people like me, so it's for everybody. All right, Mr. Penn, Director Matthews, if y'all both please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hands down. State your full name for me.
Didn't tell you, Mr. Penn.
And Mr. Penn, you are here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with the court alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, floor is yours, Rick.
Judge, on case 22 SR 0078, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendants failed to report to probation as ordered, having missed 3 of 10 scheduled appointments. The defendants failed to pay the fines and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine. The defendants failed to provide proof of completing court-ordered community service hours by turning in 11 out of 40 hours. The defendants failed to provide proof of completing a court-ordered substance abuse evaluation by the extended deadline of May 19th of 2023. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation as directed, payments of $51 biweekly, to complete community service at 8 hours per week, 0 tolerance for 90 days, to complete a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days and follow any recommendations. His next report date would be on August 2nd between the hours of 1 and 6.
All right, Mr. Penn, 2 questions for you. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I also think it's a solid recommendation. I think it's an appropriate response from the court for these violations, and I'm going to make it the order of the court. What questions can I answer for you?
What's my deadline on the community service?
The community service, I believe was,
8 hours.
yeah, 8 hours a week. It's 8 hours a week, so you'll turn that in as you go.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, so if, since we're just late, I'm gonna have you sit at the table right there. We're gonna have you sign your order in a second. Usually I have them go stand by the door, but we got perfect folks here. All right. All right, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Walter Benson.
All right, and Mr. Benton, I just pulled up my system here and I'm looking you up. And Mr. Benton, Director Matthews just informed me that you are also on probation with us currently.
Yes. Yes.
And as you've caught, we've moved from JAG, who did a great job for many years, but we now have an official Spalding County department that you'll be reporting to. I'm very proud of that. That was a passion project of 6 years. That's a long time to run a project. And so, Director Matthews, did you want to give him some instructions while we're here?
Yes, so Mr. Benton, we haven't contacted you yet, and so
Right.
since you're right here, I was gonna tell you to come and report next Wednesday
Next week,
between
okay.
1 and 6 p.m.
All right, I've been calling him, but
Yeah, we're still trying to reach out to everybody, but I was like, you're one less person I gotta call now.
They,
Yes,
they
sir.
only got phones
Next
2
week.
weeks ago. That's on me. So, all right, if you'll give me your ignition and light, and I'm gonna put a little more information on the record here. All right, Mr. Benton, your case that you're here on is 21 SR 2131. There it is. And you are asking me for an ignition interlock waiver? Is that correct, for a permit?
Yes,
Okay. Do you have with you a suspension detail report?
no, sir.
Okay. So I can't help you in any way without that suspension detail report. Is there a particular reason you don't have it today?
I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I was just told to go to the DDS. I mean, I came to the clerk's office. They gave me that. I took it out there, and they told me I had to go before the judge.
And they
That's
didn't
all I
give you,
know.
they didn't sell you a suspension detail report?
Suspension detail.
I'm so sorry. And the reason I'm a little bit confused is that it's circled on your sheet here that put you on for the calendar for today. And it says for you to go out there, show this to them, point there, and get that from them. So I'm a little surprised that if you went out and showed them this document, that they sent you back empty-handed.
I got it. I know what you're talking about now. And they
Okay.
highlighted it. I left that sheet at home. I can go get it right
Oh, okay. Well, here's what we're gonna do then. Let's when are we next?
August 3rd.
August 3rd. Okay, we're gonna reset you for August 3rd, because I'm not gonna be
Okay,
on the
I
bench for that
understand.
time. So you're not in trouble, I'm not denying it, but what we are gonna do is reset it. You're gonna sign a reset notice here in a minute. That's
Okay.
gonna put this case over to August 3rd. Come back with that, and a Georgia ID. So,
Okay.
you can't get a driver's license, but you can get a Georgia ID card. So come back with that, so I got a good correct address. And I just want you to know, Mr. Benton, this will be worth your effort, because if I can grant this for you, I will.
Okay.
So some of these I come in going, if I can deny it, I will. But you get to hear me say, if I can grant it, I will.
Okay, yes, sir.
So it's worth your effort. I very much want folks to be driving legally, and we'll do everything we can to help you out with this. And don't forget to report as directed.
All right.
Okay, have a seat, sign your reset notice, and then bring all that back next Thursday.
What's his first name?
Walter
Thank you, that was,
Denton.
yes, sir, got it, thank you.
All right, let's come back on record. Ms. Barlow, no pressure at all, but when you are ready, I can take your plea. So, you ready? Okay, if you'll come on up to the podium. How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 29.
All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Sierra, you Barlow.
All right, and Ms. Barlow, you're walking in today on 22 TK 0564. Do you have a new case?
Originally I was calling in, because my new court date is October 19th. That's with the municipal court, but I was calling in to see if I could have it moved up sooner, because I'm currently working with a recruiter for the military. But I was made aware by Miss Brenda that I currently had a warrant. So I was a little confused because I had already got arrested on June 12th, taken into custody, and I was released with a new court date of June 22nd at 8 o'clock. I went to court, and they said that since the solicitor wasn't in due to a family emergency, that they had to give me a new court date in the mail. They sent it in the mail, and it was October 19th. And that was the only thing that I was made aware of.
You said that's with the city court?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's not me.
Right, I didn't know anything about this one. They just had made me aware when I called in to see if I could have that court date, moved up sooner.
Okay. And you're working with a recruiter?
Yes, sir.
So here's what you need to know. I'm more than willing to take this plea. There's nothing wrong with taking this plea today. What I need you to know though is that my system is telling me that you have, I'm gonna call it a third case, of driving on a suspended license. That case is 23 FAH 78. And it's from January 6th of 2023. Let's do this. Mr. Shepard stepped out of the courtroom just for a minute. I want to talk to him and make certain that, he's factored in your whole situation, because we don't generally split cases up. So grab a seat. We'll talk to him when he comes back in. And we just want to make a very informed decision before we do anything. Because obviously I don't want to stand, if the military wants you to come in, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, they're not going to take you while you're on probation, and they're not going to take you while you have pending cases. And they're certainly not going to take you while you have an active warrant. So we gotta check all these boxes here to make certain this works for you. So, all right, grab a seat, and I'll come back to you as soon as Mr. Shepard comes back through. All right, that's Ms. Ball.
She's saying that she wants a permit.
Okay, come on up.
I'll give you the, she pled, it's a, you can see it.
Ms. Preston, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Celia Preston.
All right, and that is Saliyyah. All right, your case is 23 TK 0893. How old are you, Ms. Preston?
I'm 18.
Okay, that is what I suspected. All right, give me just a minute, because I know what you're asking for, and we need to check a few boxes to see if you qualify.
All right.
Have you had any other citations with me?
No, sir.
All right, that's a good start. Okay.
I don't know that she's gonna be eligible because it's a 6-point speeding conviction.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do the math and pull my checklist here.
98 to 55, right?
There it is. Okay, here we go. Are you at least 18 years of age?
Yes.
The speed you are convicted of was 98 and a 55, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that means that the maximum speed that I can let you have a permit on. 33. Ugh. Okay, so this is a very specific law that has very specific checkboxes.
Mhm.
The next checkbox for me was that the speed must be between the amounts of 24 and then a maximum of 33. And your maximum is 43, if I'm doing my math right. And so you're above what I'm allowed to issue the permit on. Let's see. Ooh, that's fast speed. What road was this on?
I don't remember.
It was on Highway 3 out there by Ingles, Moose Lodge.
Oh,
I believe. If I remember right.
okay. All right, Mr. Shepherd, do you have anything you wish to add before I?
No, Judge, at that speed, I don't believe she's eligible for a permit.
No. So, Ms. Preston, I just want to let you know that if I was legally able to grant you a permit, I would grant you one. But that speed at 98 and a 55 does not allow me to grant it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print the order for you, just so that you can see. This is the official order that DDS sent to me that said if I want to do this thing that you're asking me to do, these are the boxes I have to check, just so that you can see for yourself that I simply cannot do the thing you're asking me to do. So, and there's no other. You completed your defensive driving school yet?
Yes, sir.
Let's go right. All right. Ms. Preston, we kind of had another idea. There was a second pathway to maybe work, but it didn't work out either. So there's a thing called a 0 points order, and the three of us just talked it through off record to see if that would work for you, and it would not. So unfortunately, I do not see anything else you can do. You can certainly talk to an attorney. Ask them if they can come up with something creative. I'm not saying I would grant it, but I'm saying that if they come up with something creative, I'd be willing to consider it. And so that would be worth your time.
All right.
And there's lots of very good attorneys around here who know what they're doing. But like I said, at this option with this speed, there's just very few options for me.
Okay.
And you know, you don't have a lot of tickets with me. It's not like you're one of my regulars. And so you're clearly a good kid with a bright future. This is gonna be a bumpy little season of your life that you're gonna have to find a lot of rides on, and I'm sorry for that. But definitely go talk to a lawyer if you wanna keep exploring this question. They may come up with a creative solution that we don't have at our fingertips right here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it was worth your time. So, all right, go talk to a lawyer. All right, that was some All right, let's come back to order. Ms. Barlow, if you will step back up to the podium, I think we have all of your boxes checked.
I'm gonna make this an expired license, so this one's.
All right, Ms. Barlow, raise your right hand for me. We're going to start fresh. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for the court reporter.
Sierra Emir Barlow.
Ms. Barlow, you were here on 2 cases, and you walked in today. You're not on the calendar. The first case is 22 TK 0564. The second case is a newly filed accusation, and again, thank you, Mr. Shepard and Ms. Middleton and Ms. Jordan for getting that filed this morning so that we could address this unexpected case with an unexpected walk-in and one pass for Ms. Barlow. And that was, again, 23 SR 1088. Ms. Barlow, both cases, I'm understanding you wish to enter a plea and close them. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver, and I'm writing both case numbers on the top of it. All right, there we go. So I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver and it has both case numbers on it. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Ms. Barlow, you have the right to have an attorney represent you when you're here representing yourself on both of your cases. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on each of your cases?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and both of these cases will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Barlow, are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver before I pivot to the facts of each of your cases?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Barlow, starting with, all right, these are running concurrent. All right, so starting with 22 TK 0564, this charges you that you did commit the offense of driving on a suspended license on January 4th of 2023. And it's my understanding you wish to enter a no-low plea to that charge. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a no-low plea in the last 5 years on any charge?
No, sir.
All right, and so a no-low, of course, is where you're saying to me, essentially, Judge Thacker, I'm not admitting guilt, but I'm not denying guilt either. I'm just agreeing that you can go ahead and sentence me. Do you understand that's what we're about to do on this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then count 2, speeding, 75 and a 55. Do you wish to enter a no-low on that charge as well from the same course of events?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then moving on to 23 SR 1088. On this case, you're charged with operating a motor vehicle on an expired license from January 6th of 2023. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me look something up real quick, and then we'll finish this up for you. Okay, I did the date wrong. 22 TK 0564 is from January 4th of 2022. I mistakenly said 2023. Okay. All right, I'm going to find that your request for the no-low on 22 TK 0564 is proper, and I'm going to grant it on both charges because they're in different categories, and I can grant 2 no-lows. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt on 23 SR 1088, there's enough for me to accept your plea on an expired license plea. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence you on these cases?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Barlow, we're gonna start with 22 TK 0564. On this case, count one, suspended license from January 4th of 2022. I'm gonna grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, $449.50 is your fine. Count two, speeding, 75 and a 55, grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, $229.75 is your fine. You can work off your fines with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that on both cases, you will be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. You
Yes, sir.
understand that? You understand that you will also, each case will have a $25 intake fee independent of the other. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
But the supervision fee, because they run together, will be one supervision fee. So two intake fees, one supervision fee. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you able to get your Georgia driver's license back, or have you gotten it back?
I have them, yes, sir.
Okay.
I paid twice at the municipal clerk and the DMV.
Okay, so you currently have a valid license?
Yes, sir.
All right, so show that probation. This plea should not cause a license suspension in and of itself, but as you're well aware, and we had extensive discussions off record before this plea, that you have a third case that's in the Griffin Municipal Court that could potentially cause a suspension of your license. But these two, in and of themselves, without more, will not cause it. It just puts you on the knife edge of losing it. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You may be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee. And this case will close the moment you've, 22 TK 564 will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. All right, moving on to 23 SR 1088. That's the newly filed accusation from January 6th of 2023. Count one, expired license. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $445 is your fine. This runs concurrent to your other case. This one is also terminated upon completion, and also show your valid license. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal these decisions. You have 12 months from today, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember reading about habeas on the back of this right sheet right here? And I'll tell you, it's just this weird old law where you sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. And I just need you to know that you have 6 months on those rights if you want to use them.
Okay.
Any questions for me before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
Okay. Normally I'd have you go step out in the hallway to meet with probation, but probation, Director Matthews is sitting right here beside me, so if you'll just have a seat right there at the table, wait for Ms. Matthews and I to finish, and then Ms. Matthews will come talk to you and give you your next set of instructions.
You need to talk to Henry County,
I guess.
because it's showing on here, you have failure to appear right there.
All right, so with that, we're all clear. I'm gonna issue the warrants or 50 cash bonds if there were any. Very first day with the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement has gone very well. Thank you, Director.